I just found out that my family purposely failed to invite me to join them and planned to leave me alone for Christmas, so I chose to be with a different family and celebrated with them. So I am a noops baby, something my family has constantly reminded me of since I was little because it's funny. My siblings, ages early 40s, were all planned by our parents. I was the result of a drunken fun night on New Year's Eve, according to my dad. I've never been close to my siblings due to the large age gap. My parents, while never mean, never went out of their way to show me the same love that my siblings get. For instance, when I was younger, I was in choir. I used to love to sing, but no family member ever came to see me sing. I was told, "We are busy or we have other plans," so I gave up singing. But I remember them going to my other siblings' dance things. So I gave up on doing anything besides working on my computer and playing with my friends. I stuck to just getting good with computers, and in doing so, I ended up in a good job where I've been working for almost 10 years now. Started at the bottom of IT, and now I've worked my way up to being a manager for about 15 people. However, being in IT means I have to occasionally miss out on family events and some holidays because where I work, it's 247 split into 12-hour shifts. Due to this, over the years, I've accidentally forgotten to be invited because we figured you were working without actually asking me. This has been a recurring issue with my family, forgetting to ask me to join them or making excuses as to why I wasn't invited. However, one thing I could always rely on was being able to show up on Christmas Eve and still feel like I belonged even if it was later in the evening. Most of my love came from my nieces who always think of me as the cool uncle and are always happy to see me. I happened to stop over at my folks yesterday, and while there, I saw my nieces. But my nieces started asking if I was excited for Christmas as we hung out in a cabin this year. I looked confused and asked my mom what they were talking about. She looked embarrassed and said everyone had made plans back in June to celebrate Christmas in a rental cabin in Vermont. LOL, I kid you not, she looked at me and said, "We all figured you had to work again and couldn't get the time off, so everyone figured you wouldn't mind missing one Christmas." Had they said something, I could have taken the time off. To say I was and I'm heartbroken is an understatement. Like, I get that I'm an oops baby and have never thought of much, if ever, but to just be left alone for Christmas on purpose. I mean, how does a family do that to someone? I just turned around, hugged my nieces goodbye, and left. Didn't even say goodbye to my mom. I pride myself on being strong, especially how my family has always treated me. But I'm not gonna lie. I actually cried on the way home. Never in my life have I felt so rejected, especially by people who are supposed to love me. Couldn't even ask her when they planned on telling me or if they planned on telling me what would happen if I showed up after work and no one was there. I just left. I probably should have, but I was hurting too much to really care at the moment. Now here's my dilemma. I have a new girlfriend, and by new, I mean we've only been going out and seeing each other since just after Thanksgiving. I texted her when I got home telling her what happened as I had to talk to someone. She kinda knows about my family. Being in such a new relationship, I didn't want to unload all my baggage on her. But she knows that my family and I don't have a standard type of relationship. Anyway, she has invited me to go with her to celebrate Christmas with her family. I haven't given her an answer yet. In previous relationships, we were together months before the invite to Christmas ever came up. However, this is the first relationship where it's only been a few weeks. Would going with Zoe to her family's be a good idea? Update? 6 days later. First, thanks for those that commented on my first post. I wasn't really sure if I should go or not, but it was the best decision I ever made. When I told my girlfriend that I would love to go with her, she was really happy. I did what others suggested and bought a really nice bottle of wine for her family and a few gifts for my girlfriend. I expected a bit of awkwardness when we arrived, but none happened. When we arrived and I met her family, I was treated just like I belonged there. I had a great time. We had some really great food and played some games. And overall, it was a great experience and much different than any Christmas I ever had with my family. Speaking of which, mom called me while I was at my girlfriend's family. The tone of her voice didn't make me think they were happy about it, LOL. When they called, we were playing Pictionary and everyone was having a good time. She asked where I was, and I told her. I wished her a Merry Christmas, hung up the phone, and then turned it off. I wasn't gonna let her or them ruin a good time. When it was time to go, everyone thanked me for coming and said they hoped I had a good time. I don't think I could wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. It was such a nice and loving group of people. I know this relationship is still super new, but the amount of love I received from my girlfriend and family really makes me hope that this works out. I've never felt what I felt on Christmas in my whole life. As someone posted on my first post, it felt like a Hallmark movie of sorts. I know it's just all the new feelings, but if anything, I've learned I deserve more than what little my family gives me.